Clix, MrSavage and Th0masHD are all very well known in the Fortnite competitive scene, having hundreds of thousands in earnings, but all have something in common: they have yet to win an FNCS. Also, it's important to mention MrSavage, Th0masHD and Booger are the only 3 Fortnite players to play in the World Cup, FNCS Invitational and FNCS Global Finals. Th0masHD is ranked number 7 worldwide in Fortnite, having 1.1 million total earnings and 4 second place grand final placements and 5 third places. So why has he and these other pros not won an FNCS title? Is what you'll be finding out in this video. Clix is currently ranked at 47th worldwide, with his best placement being 4th in grand finals, not once but 3 times. He's a qualifier warrior and called 20 out of 24 times for grands. Clix recently got dropped by his trio except Muzz and Rise, which is crazy to think someone a part of your own team would drop you. He said he had a feeling this was coming, but I can tell you he definitely didn't. They started off the FNCS season strong with multiple first and second place placements, but then it went downhill from there. They started to place top 5 and higher, which is good, but if you want to win FNCS, this isn't the outcome you need. Just before this trio split up, they placed 2nd, then the day after 11th, which Muzz and Rise weren't happy with. Clix got replaced with Yapko, who is a part of Team Falcon, Peter Watt's team, and won Gamer 8 Champions with Cammy for $500,000. And it's important to mention Yapko travelled from EU to North America to live with Quanti in his house, to play with Quanti and Edgy, but has now left that trio, so it must be a bit awkward in the house. Clix's new trio is now Batman Booger and Th0ma, who are both yet to win an FNCS but are insanely skilled players and hungry to finally win, after having a 2nd place in Grands, which was Batman Booger, and Th0ma with a 3rd place. The most recent placement together is 5th, but let's see how they do in FNCS Major 1 play-ins, which by the time this is uploaded that tournament will be over. Now I don't think this trio will split up because there's no reason for them to do so, and neither do I think Clix will win this FNCS since Peterbot is the most consistent player of all time currently. Peterbot was smart because he'd done all his snaking way before these other teams, so he got the head start on them and must feel very relaxed now. Before I move on to the Europe side, I'm going to do a predict of my top 5 for NA FNCS Grand placements, and you can do the same in the comments. First place, the obvious trio Peterbot, Cold and Ritual. I don't think I really need an explanation for this. Second place, Cooper, Vidil and Sphinx. My reasoning for this is because Cooper recently placed 1st in the Solo Cash Cup finals, and Sphinx placed 2nd. But not only that, they placed 2nd most recently in week 5 FNCS, and they have Vidil on the team who moved from EU to NA, and these are his stats so far. Vidil also has an FNCS win under his belt, and it's important to mention Cooper won the FNCS Global Championships with Miro as well, so they both have very good placements. Third place, Acorn, Aegis and Poyo. I'm not giving them 2nd place because their recent placements aren't looking too good, and they came 3rd recently. They also dropped Canada for Poyo, so their chemistry needs to be fixed and worked on a little bit better, and previously when playing with Canada they got multiple 3rd places, so it's only right. Acorn, Aegis and Yapko have cheered up to play cross region on NA West, so I do believe they have potential to win that since their most recent placement was 1st place. 4th place, I'm going to put Clix, Batman Booger and Th0ma. Now I would have put Muzz, Rise and Yapko here, but their most recent placements haven't been looking too good, whereas Clix is looking consistent despite his trio change. Now this is funny because Clix does have a 4th place curse, but I guess there is no escaping that. Then top 5, it has to be Muzz, Rise and Yapko, since they're all very skilled but need to work on chemistry. For the rest of the teams it's dotted, either because of snaking or lack of passion. I also reckon after this FNCS is over, Clix may take a little break from Fortnite since he won't be winning FNCS anytime soon. Since Peterbot is just dominating the scene, he may pursue doing IRL content with the FaZe boys for a bit. Not saying he will quit, but let's see what he has planned. Now we have MrSavage. He's ranked at 48th worldwide and his best placement in Grands is 2nd. He has $560,000 in Fortnite earnings and is playing FNCS with Mongrel, an FNCS winner who took a break previously, and Panzer, a 2x Grand finalist. Now this trio doesn't have the best placements recently, but it's definitely not over for them just yet. They recently failed to qualify for FNCS Division 1 finals, but they still have time to practice. On 29th of January are the play-ins, and on February 15th is Grands. Some people are speculating they might not even call Grands, and lots of their fanbase are being negative towards them, not giving them much motivation. Also, it's important to mention Mongraal hasn't qualified to one solo Cash Cup finals yet this season. Since the qualifying change, you have to place top 600. The most recent placement is top 55 in FNCS week 5, and first place came th0masHD's trio, which I'll talk about later in this video. The reason for MrSavage's trio placing bad isn't because of their fighting ability, well in a way it sort of is, but it's mainly their landing spot. They recently moved from Bird to Shattered Span, aka the Broken Bridge, but half the games they play they can't seem to win off spawn, and if they do win off spawn they struggle to convert that into a good game. Now overall the people contesting them placed 25th and they placed 21st. With this in mind, it's not a massive gap. I reckon they should either switch drop spots once again, because the bridge is a very complicated sport and not worth the risk for the loot. Whereas they could go somewhere else, potentially more contested but getting more loot, and they could third party the teams that con them, or even land split from the teams and get a section to themselves, trade surge and play out the game. They also need to work on their chemistry, because it seems most end games only 2 players are alive in their trio, or they try to make a play like go for a height and die instantly, so they really need to work together these next upcoming weeks and sort out their issues. We have seen many splits from the NA side and a little from the EU side, with Rezon getting dropped, but it could be a smart play for Savage and Mongraal to drop Panzer for Rezon. Not that Panzer is the main issue or the weak point in the trio, but Rezon said it will be down to trios and it will be great content, but not only that, Rezon is a very skilled and professional player. I might be a bit late in saying this, and I feel like since Panzer is from Russia there's a little bit of a language barrier. Sometimes those comms are hard to understand or not clear, which is no means his fault because it's not his first language. Also, I'm sure Rezon would have no problem with dropping his trio for them, but Savage is very hesitant and said they won't be dropping anyone. I feel like if a trio isn't working out, you simply shouldn't carry on and see out your next best option. Now I'm going to talk about who I think will place in the top 5 for EU FNCS finals. First place, Vino, Vico and Flixi. Vino is a 2x FNCS champion, and Vico and Flixi have one FNCS win together, winning Enduro's FNCS just last year. Also, their recent placements are very consistent. Second place, Th0masHD, Th0 and Man City Trip. This team can definitely get first and break the Th0masHD curse, but they need to grind for it. Their recent placements are pretty good, but room for improvement. Third place, Kami's team with Seti and Chari. They are contested and won 10-2 off spawn across 1 finals, and their recent placements are mostly third places. They are a fan favourite to win, but I don't reckon they will come out on top, unfortunately. Fourth place, an underrated team, iDrop, Sky and Scroll, who have won the final EU Trio Cash Cup of this season. This is a dominant trio and the recent placements are looking very good. And finally, 5th place, Vanyak, who won the Duo FNCS last year. His teammates being Marius, Cal and Pixie. Decent placements, but I reckon they'll get the spot. As for Savage's trio, if they do qualify to Grands and actually win off spawn, they could be looking at top 15 to 20. Definitely not the outcome they want, but I've suggested a couple resolutions for them. Now let's talk about th0masHD, potentially the most unluckiest Fortnite player in history. But like I stated earlier, that could change because this FNCS is definitely winnable for him. If we look at his placements in FNCS week 4, his trio placed 3rd and week 5 placed in 1st. His most recent placement is 23rd. They recently just switched the drop spot from brutal boxcars to Moses, since the train has now been completely removed, giving them no reason to land there anymore. And they won 2-0 off spawn, having never landed this spot, so it's looking strong for this trio. Also, th0masHD has qualified 5 out of 5 solo cash cups this season, and it's important to mention th0masHD and one of his team members, Man City Trip, are playing cross region on NA Central and managed to qualify to Div 1. So it shows they're both very passionate and are grinding out the game massively. It would be nice to see one of these trios that I mentioned finally win an FNCS, but if they don't win this one, they definitely need to change what they're doing into their next one. Most importantly, Savage's team need to work on their drop spot, since that seems like their main struggle. And Clix needs to be more confident. He usually just follows what his trio does and relies on them. He's not an IGL, but he can definitely do more than get 4th place. If anything, he might need to pay Peterbot to play next FNCS, and th0masHD is just straight up unlucky. But out of all of them, is most likely to win. Hope you enjoyed this video and my take on who's winning FNCS. See you in the next video, but don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.